from the Stade Lecure in Bordeaux, which housed Scotland against Norway back in the World Cup of 1998. That game finished 1-1, and I'm sure Martin O'Neill would settle for that scoreline tonight. Always that European tightrope which he was speaking about, and this is the opposition he'll face tonight. Two changes from the side which drew with Lyon at the weekend. Wilmot's injured, Monisel suspended, but still Gordon, some pretty useful names there as we look at Celtic's Henrik Larsson and Moravcik, who made such a big impression, of course, when he was a player in France. So we've seen the Bordeaux lineup, Gordon, and there is the Celtic lineup minus Sutton.
Yeah, Sutton not available for this game, and it will be a blow, but they have likes of Moravcik to bring in, who has experience in France, as you mentioned, Rob, and plenty of experience at international and the European level too. So I think that that'll cope adequately. They don't have the strength and power of Sutton, but then again, Moravcik is probably better at holding the ball and can create a bit more for them as well, and from set pieces they'll have Moravcik's ability to whip the ball in. I think the biggest question mark they'll have is exactly how they're going to have to adjust in terms of the way Bordeaux are going to play. If Dugarry plays as a wide left player, then Celtic won't be able to play their normal three at the back. They'll have to adjust to a four, and probably McNamara will be asked to come in and play in the right back area. And it's such a wide pitch. I've been down on it. It's in lovely condition. It will suit good football, but it's a wide pitch, and it means that Celtic would be stretched if they decide to play with three up front.
We saw a French television interview there being done with the Bordeaux coach Elie Bopp, who has pretty much changed Bordeaux's style in the last couple of years. This match now gets underway. There used to be a lot more flamboyance about them, still a bit of that, but they're a much more solid, workmanlike outfit since he took charge. Celtic, it's 17 years since they reached the third round of a European competition. That was 83-84 when they were eventually ousted by Nottingham Forest, so that's a record that they certainly want to put right. And Bobby Petta immediately races towards the byline. That's a good ball in, and Henrik Larsson just over the top. 30 seconds and Celtic almost ahead, and an injury to Larsson.
Well, it was great work, but look how brave Larsson is here. He sees an opportunity, he knows the keeper's going to come and clatter him there, and he does take it full in the face in his efforts to get that ball in the net, and he was so unlucky. It's just landed on top of the net. The Celtic fans thought it would go in, but you have to say Larsson, he's not had much luck playing in France, and right at the very beginning of this game he takes a severe knock in his face, and he's going to have to have some treatment, and it's just a pity from his point of view he couldn't have put the ball in the net, but what an opportunity it was. Good run by Petta on the left hand side.
I think it was the follow through that caught him there, Gordon, because it was open hands from Rame as he came out. It wasn't as if he punched Larsson there, but I think Larsson was possibly caught with his elbow following through, so that's a painful one.
They get away with it at times, goalkeepers, I have to say that, because in other parts of the field you probably be pulled up for a challenge like that, but Larsson was very brave. The opportunity was there. I mean, he knows the keeper is going to come through him there, and the keeper's being apologetic to the referee at the moment, but he's given Larsson a full one, and he knows, but possibly, let's hope it's not another break, a broken nose from that sort of effort, but it certainly was a sore one. But as I say, it would have been better all round for him, and it would have been worth his while if he could have managed to put the ball in the net. Petta did well to get into that position. Celtic winning the ball very quickly from Bordeaux's centre and busting through there, and getting an opportunity on the left hand side, but Larsson is on his feet, and let's hope he's okay.
The Celtic supporters looking suitably refreshed as the match gets underway, and the Bordeaux supporters having their say as well. And another look at how Henrik Larsson was injured, but he's going to be okay to come back on. You can just see him in the background there trotting up the touchline before he's allowed back into the play. And Celtic minus Sutton right from kick-off certainly didn't want to lose Henrik Larsson there, such a vital player. And within inches they are giving Celtic the lead, and a sprightly start too by Bobby Petta, doing exactly what Martin O'Neill would want him to be doing tonight, which is getting up and down the touchline and being much more concerned with attacking play than defending.
Yeah, it's a good positive start with Celtic, and once again there they start to play with 10 players. Bordeaux tried to work the ball forward, Celtic in quickly with interception, but I'm looking at the formation that Bordeaux have out. Dugarry is sitting as mainly a midfield player at the moment, just off the strikers, not wide as such, and it's allowing Celtic to continue with the three at the back system, but if Dugarry comes wide they'll have to alter.
This is about the first we've seen from Bordeaux in the match. That's Bruno Basto on the ball, one of the Portuguese players in the side. And Diabate, the Ivory Coast international, at the heart of the midfield. Shifts it wide left for Christophe Dugarry. Slides a pass inside Didier Agathe. It was well read by Johan Mjallby. His clearance up towards Henrik Larsson, back on the pitch. Dugarry, Diabate. Legwinski trying to link play together through the midfield. It was a good solid start from Celtic. And now Petta in possession again. He's lost it. Bordeaux currently 8th in the French league, but just 7 points off the pace. It's pretty tightly packed, although they have had a pretty average start to the season. This looks interesting for them though. It's Dugarry, too heavy with the cutback. Petta is able to intercept, and he runs the ball out to play on the far side before Pascal Feindouno can do any damage, but there was a clear threat there to Celtic, left side from Dugarry.
Yeah, it's probably one of the potential dangers they have with somebody like Agathe in a wing-back position. Great going forward there, but he lost his man. He was ball-watching Dugarry, got Gould side of him, and then got in behind him there, and not the best of crosses from Dugarry, but they'll need to be careful because he'll come from the sort of central position and get himself out wide. But it's good to see that Larsson's okay. He's committed a foul there, but looks like he's got over that injury anyway.
Immediately threatening again on the French penalty box. He might well have had an infringement given against him there, but he was desperate to get through on Rame, put some pressure on, and the goalkeeper knocked the ball out of play. But in fact the free kick has now been given, and that was an incident which Petrov managed to escape. It looked as if he might have conceded a free kick just outside the box, but the referee ruled in his favour. Petrov is on something of a tightrope tonight because he's been yellow carded in the competition already, so another booking for him tonight would mean that he will miss the return. He's an important part of that central midfield core of the Celtic team. And Bordeaux again shifting the ball wide left. Johan Mjallby covering across. The run from Pauleta. That's a good change of direction. Did he overrun it? Yes, he did. It was out of play. It's gone behind, but he is a player that Celtic will have special eyes on, Pauleta. He's a Portuguese international. He came from Deportivo just a couple of months ago and already got 2 hat-tricks this season from him.
Yeah, he's fitted in very well, and you can see there from that little piece of action, pulling Mjallby into a 1v1 situation, pulling out wide. Nice change of feet there, and good footwork to get in the cross. So there'll be a danger. Celtic will need to be organised and try not to let their players get caught in one-against-one situations, because they're obviously pretty sharp and they're good individual ability.
Moravcik, who was a star in French football in the past, although he's really been starved of success in his career despite his undoubted ability, looking to extend Celtic's European run this season. Actually, it was 17 years since Celtic had reached the third round. It's 20 years since they played in Europe after Christmas. It's another record that badly needs rewritten. And good play there from Valgaeren. Elie Bopp, the Bordeaux coach, issues some instructions with a flourish on the touchline. Not a player of great quality, Bopp in his time, but building a career as a coach. Jonathan Gould, not too impressed with his kick out, but it runs through to Moravcik, and now taken on by Larsson. It's a good challenge. Wins it back for Bordeaux. Petrov trying to pick his way through. It's all very tight. Free kick given against Diabate for the challenge here on Bulgarian Petrov.
Yeah, I don't think it was Diabate's challenge. I think he was tripped from behind because Diabate won the ball, but I think it was a challenge coming from the back row.
So Petrov heads for the penalty box. Moravcik with the free kick. It's headed clear by Roche, only as far as Jackie McNamara. Didn't really catch the shot. Doesn't score too many, McNamara, and needed a little bit more behind this one.
Yeah, no power on it, but he's hit the target. I think that's Jackie McNamara's first touch, and we're quite keen to have got that because taking the ball, good control there. That might be where they miss Sutton from, likes the set piece of that, his power and strength in the air. But they've got Valgaeren and Mjallby there who can win it, so you can still get something.
Sommeil for Bordeaux. And Alain Roche. Long ball, angled ball for Dugarry, but he was never going to catch that one. A real star, Dugarry, started his career with Bordeaux, and now he's back where he started, having had spells with Milan, Barcelona and Marseille, but we saw as recently as Euro 2000. He's a player of real quality. That's well won for Celtic by Petrov, taken on by Moravcik, but he loses out to Diabate. And now Francois Grenet down the line for Dugarry, been given no time at all on the ball by Paul Lambert. And that's the way, certainly, that Dugarry, the Bordeaux captain, has to be played.
Looks like he's got a total free roll as well. I've watched him, and he's floating about across the midfield area, trying to get into spaces all the time, so he can just do what he wants out there. So it means that you can't really put a man on him to mark him, but the Celtic players will need to pass him on at times from where he turns up, and they need to make sure that he doesn't get free, because he's a match winner. As you said, he's had this great career, but he's failed at top clubs. He's never really achieved anything, and although he continues to play in the French team, he's back where he started his football at Bordeaux.
And when he was first at Bordeaux, the great Zinedine Zidane was here as well. Some pretty famous names have come through this club, the likes of Gires and Tigana. Eric Cantona had a spell here as well. Now McNamara for Celtic. To Didier Agathe, formerly of Montpellier in the French League, and ex of Raith Rovers and Hibs more recently. Now McNamara needs a good ball into the box, but that's too close to Ulrich Rame. An experienced goalkeeper, a couple of French caps to his name, and he wasn't going to be deceived by this one.
Yeah, I think that's a good ball. I think that Henry Larsson made the decision there, and it turned out to be the wrong one, of peeling away from goal rather than going in tight at the near post where there might have been a chance. And he acknowledged that fact, Larsson. He gave Jackie McNamara a wave as if to say, I should have been in there.
A wayward pass from Didier Agathe, intercepted by Feindouno, and now Lilian Laslandes trying to link again with Feindouno, the Guinea international, but Bobby Petta working hard. He's a big, muscular, almost a British style of striker is Laslandes. 14 goals last season in the French League, but struggling at the moment for form. And there was some thought that he might even be left out tonight. But it's he and Pauleta up front for Bordeaux. No free kick there, despite Pauleta's best efforts. The referee was close in. Tom Henning Ovrebo from Norway. Ulrich Rame, neat touch on the ball, staying calm and launching it downfield ahead of Paul Lambert. Diabate, back from Dugarry to Sommeil and his central defensive partner Alain Roche, and at right back is Francois Grenet. Up for Laslandes, back to Grenet again, overlapping and linking with Feindouno. Into the box from Grenet. Pauleta hits the deck. Optimistic noises around the Stade Lecure, but little chance that a penalty was going to be given there.
I think he had a good case, Rob, to be honest with you. Ball was played in there, and he's taken an excellent touch just across the front of Mjallby. Mjallby has come in pretty clumsily, really, to save it. The referee doing Celtic a real favour. I wouldn't like McNamara a look at that again. That's
a wild challenge by Grenet on Petta. Well, here is the chance to see it again. My instinct was that he was trying to make the most of this. See what you think.
Well, yeah, seen them given.
Certainly had his hands round his waist, Mjallby, and debatable, I think would be the word. But thankfully for Celtic, the claims were waved away. Tom Boyd launches a free kick towards the edge of the area, bouncing towards Agathe. That's good play from Henrik Larsson, heading for the byline and wins a corner kick, first of the match. Industrious stuff again from Larsson. And a set-piece opportunity here.
Yeah, he worked it well there with Agathe and took over possession of the ball. I'm not sure there was much in the middle there, even if he gets cross in, so it probably worked out a bit better for Celtic that there was deflection and gives Petta a chance to throw it in, swing it in with the left foot.
In from Bobby Petta. Out comes Rame, gets a punch to it. Here's a chance for Paul Lambert. Deflected wide, another corner kick, this time on the far side. That was a well-controlled volley from Lambert.
He's never going in this, so you can see it goes through a number of people there, and I'm not sure they exactly knew what was happening. A little deflection, good jump there. Mjallby almost getting the same treatment as Larsson got there, but Paul Lambert keeps it down. It's going in the corner.
And here comes another corner kick, this time cleared comfortably by Bordeaux. a good effort from Lambert and good pressure on the goalkeeper from Mjallby. Bobby Petta makes a good run. Free kick given against the challenge of Diabate as Petta cut inside. Well, a lot of contact there, was there?
Very little, but the referee was close to it, so he must have felt there was a foul. But Petta was in a good position maybe to swing in a shot there, but they have another set piece opportunity. They'll probably be looking for Mjallby or Valgaeren.
Yeah, Mjallby and Valgaeren at the edge of the area, and Paul Lambert over the ball, but now he's left it to Henrik Larsson. His cross, Bobby Petta wins a header, dangerous in the 6-yard box. It fell to a Bordeaux player. Roche managed to thump the ball clear, but that was a decent opportunity with Petta not picked up at the far post.
So you have to say, looking at the cross that Henrik Larsson headed over, the opportunity there that came from the corner, and from that free kick there, getting Petta in at the back post, you have to say that they're not defending set pieces or crosses too well, and a little bit of encouragement for Celtic in that fact.
14 minutes gone and 0-0 in Bordeaux. Live from BBC Scotland, and we'll bring you the whole of the return match in 2 weeks' time as well. Alan Roche for Bordeaux out to Francois Grenet. That's good play from Moravcik, working hard to win back possession. Playing it out wide for Didier Agathe. It's a long ball launched through the middle by Basto, but it bounces through to Jonathan Gould.
Celtic's organisation so far has been good, Rob. They've not given much away. Notice Paul Lambert's sort of taken on the role of marking Dugarry, make sure he doesn't get free. But I say that they've actually defended it very well so far. And apart from that, the debatable tackle by Mjallby in the box, they've never really been threatened, Celtic, and consequently Jonathan Gould has nothing to do.
Good little touch that from Bobby Petta, looking very confident. Henrik Larsson doing the chasing. Back from Roche.
Free kick's been given.
Rame, free kick given. And again, Mjallby heads forward, and Jos Valgaeren as well. The Swede and the Belgian up to bolster the attack, and Moravcik will be looking for a good delivery here. 4,000 Celtic fans waiting expectantly. In from Moravcik, Didier Agathe at the far post, couldn't get his head to it, and that goes down as a chance lost. Another look now at the effort from Paul Lambert, and the defender on the goal line didn't look totally convinced, Gordon, about this at all. Off his shin, it could have gone anywhere.
Yeah, he's made a bit of a mess of the clearance, but it looks as if he maybe saw it late. That could easily have just skidded in off his leg and into the net. So they've been unlucky so far. I mean, they've had better chances so far than Bordeaux, and considering that Celtic away from home, it's been a very, very good start from them.
His only other goal this season, Paul Lambert, was in the Old Firm match, so maybe he's wanting to specialise in big game goals. Not a prolific scorer of goals, Paul Lambert, but such a crucial figure to Martin O'Neill at the heart of the midfield.
Yeah, and as I say, he's taking on the responsibility now from playing the central role to mark Dugarry. I don't know whether that's instructions from the sidelines or he's taking on himself. Paul Lambert's a type of player that would do that himself if he thought it was the necessary thing, but he's doing a man-for-man marking job now in Dugarry.
Alan Roche with the long ball angled for Christophe Dugarry. Lovely touch, great control. Paul Lambert sticking to him, and then offering assistance, Didier Agathe. But look at the concentration written all over the face of Lambert here. He realises that great threat could stem from Dugarry, and here he is again on the ball. Forced out by Agathe. The support comes from Basto, heading for the byline. McNamara went with him. Made a good challenge, McNamara, and when the ball was whipped in at the near post, Jonathan Gould was there. Henrik Larsson against Alan Roche. Roche back to Rame, and well, all that was missing there was the cigar as he flipped the ball over the head of Larsson. No sense of panic with the keeper.
That was very cool goalkeeping there. At first I thought that Jonathan Gould might have been better just keeping possession, wasting a bit of time, but the long kick out certainly caused Bordeaux a problem.
Good play again from Petta, setting up Moravcik. That's clever for McNamara. Trying to play that into the feet of Henrik Larsson. Didn't find its target. Opportunity lost. Now Bordeaux on the counter-attack with Dugarry, but he's given that away. Mjallby intercepts and also finds a good pass. Good distribution. Petta in possession. No way through for him. Diabate was the player immediately in the way, and now Laslandes through the middle for Pauleta, cut out by Mjallby. Misjudgment by Tom Boyd, and Laslandes back on the ball again. Feindouno, good balance, and tries a crack from 25 yards out. Hooked it wide, didn't really catch the shot.
Yeah, Gould just knocked back Laslandes, gets it there, and he wins a couple of challenges to get through here, but let's say if they're restricted to shooting from that sort of distance all night, then Celtic would be very happy with that. They haven't really built a real decent chance at the moment.
Paul Lambert, good pass, finds Moravcik, and Agathe in the wide position. He's pacey, testing out Basto. Good play from Agathe. Jackie McNamara wanted that played in front of him as he sprinted towards the edge of the box, didn't get it. Now he has to backtrack with Bordeaux back on the ball. Grenet launching a long ball down towards Pauleta. Celtic defended that pretty well and hooked away by Mjallby. Still in Petrov. Agathe. Moravcik has drifted over from left to right. That's for Henrik Larsson. Onside! For once, the first touch wasn't good enough. Otherwise, that was a real chance for the opening goal for Larsson.
Absolutely, it's a surprise to say that in relation to Henrik Larsson, a bad first touch, but that's exactly what it was, because it was a real opportunity. He's got in behind the defender here. He has to just get more of a contact, a soft contact on that, and he's through, and the keeper's come out. It's been an easy pick-up for him.
Just look at the grimace there on the face of Henrik Larsson. He knew it immediately, that split second as the ball landed on his boot. He realised that could have been a golden chance, and you always expect him to get the ball killed instantly and to offer himself up a chance of a shot at goal. And you'd have put your money on him sticking that one away as well. A yellow card, first of the match for Laslandes, Diabate. And a few players, including Petrov, of course, are watching very closely at what happens in terms of disciplinary matters tonight, because nobody wants a second yellow, which would mean missing out on Celtic Park in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, it's difficult going in with the studs showing. I don't think he makes any contact there. I think Petrov made the most of it, but the studs were showing, and he ends up with a yellow card.
Celtic cruising it in the SPL back home, but they know this is a big test of how far they've come under Martin O'Neill. Long ball from Jonathan Gould, headed away by Grenet and left by Basto for Rame. French squad goalkeeper, but not a threat as first choice at the moment to Fabien Barthez. That's lost by Lambert. In went Dugarry, Diabate to Bruno Basto. Down the line for Pauleta. And now Basto again, taking on McNamara, trying to get to the byline and whip the ball in. And wins a corner kick to the touch of Jackie McNamara. And Jonathan Gould with a corner kick to defend now.
Yeah, he did well enough, Jackie McNamara, because he didn't buy the first dummy there, and he just stuck to his task and made sure the cross wasn't going to come in. They played for the corner. It'll be interesting to see how Celtic defend this, the first corner they've had to defend in this match.
The Bordeaux fans making plenty of noise behind that goal, and the set piece ends up with the opening goal. And it's Christophe Dugarry who gives Bordeaux the lead. 22 minutes gone. First set piece, first goal. And Celtic couldn't keep him out at the near post.
Yeah, we know Dugarry is good in the air. We saw that in Euro 2000, but this is very badly defended from Celtic's point of view. Good run in there, and there's no challenge here. Gets in the head of the near post. We wondered how they might defend it. They've caused problems at the other end. The first decent opportunity, and Dugarry gets it in.
It was all very easy for Christophe Dugarry. He started off at the back post, made his run to the near post, and neither Mjallby nor Boyd could get there in time. Mjallby, a vain appeal that he was being fouled by Dugarry, and that looked a pretty clean header at the near post. And Celtic, who've had so much of the game in the opening spell, find themselves one goal down.
Yeah, it's a major blow considering how Celtic have started the match. Very much the better side, the stronger side, and doing really well, and then suddenly find themselves first corner kick, first opportunity that they've had. Bordeaux with the ball in the box, and Dugarry wins it, gets across the front of Mjallby. Might have just been pushing him there. I mean, there was a
hand on the shoulder.
There was definitely an arm on the back of Mjallby, but you don't often get those because it's very difficult to spot. What you have to do is just be strong and get the ball away, and that's a real blow to Celtic. Didn't defend it too well, but as I said before, Dugarry, we saw him in Euro 2000. He is very good in the air and he leaps well. He's a big lad and he just sneaked in, got in between the two defenders and made it count.
Yeah, attacked that well, did Christophe Dugarry. Timed his run across the 6-yard box superbly, and what you could say of Celtic, I suppose, defensively is that they didn't really attack the ball enough. Free kick here though, and Paul Lambert to take it. Mjallby and Valgaeren get forward again. Petrov 2 at the edge of the area alongside Larsson and Moravcik. Easily defended, comfortably defended for Bordeaux. Feindouno with a spectacular effort to try and get it clear, and a free kick is given.
Yeah, another foul by Diabate there, but it's not a massive blow to Celtic. I mean, I still think the most important thing about tonight's game from Celtic's point of view is getting a goal in this match. Obviously they don't want to lose any more goals themselves, but they've got to score.
Didier Agathe heading for the byline, turns the ball in. It's Diabate that's there, and that must be a penalty kick, and it is. Tremendously quick feet from Henrik Larsson, which won the penalty for Celtic. Bordeaux protest, but no doubt about it, Gordon.
I thought it was a penalty. Henrik Larsson seen them not given, to be fair, but the referee was very quick to point to the spot. They're complaining about it still, but you can see here the defender takes a touch, Larsson comes across, robs him, and the challenge comes through, and he's made contact. Henrik Larsson just gets a little touch in front of him. Look at this, just takes it, just knocks him over.
So Henrik Larsson, who won the penalty kick, will now take it and scores. That's a golden goal for Celtic. 1-1, and Martin O'Neill leads the celebrations. 25 minutes gone. Rame went one way, the ball went the other. Celtic back on level terms.
Yeah, superbly cool. Henrik Larsson keeps on scoring goals, penalties or otherwise, but he took that so well. And as you said, a golden goal, very important. European football nowadays, over 2 legs that you score away from home. Vital from their point of view, and puts them right back in this game, and probably makes up for the mistake they made at losing that first goal. And Martin O'Neill delighted.
Here's another look, Gordon, and it was just really the speed of thought of Henrik Larsson, apart from anything else, which got him in front of Sommeil, who was already committed to making his move for the ball. Sadly for him, Larsson got between him and the ball.
Yeah, it was clever.
The penalty had to be
exactly, given. It was clever enough because he didn't give up the ball when the cross was wasn't reaching him. He didn't just let that go. He went out there and won it.
He's a chaser of lost causes, isn't he?
Oh, that's right, that's what you want. I mean, he's already shown that in the early part, going for that header when he was obviously going to be hit by the goalkeeper. Very brave player on that occasion there. Just quick thinking, realising the defender might do something like that, and he's out there and he gets his team a penalty.
You can't see them at the moment. Well, maybe you can just about now, but the Celtic supporters are bouncing, and they might be again here. Didier Agathe. In goes Jackie McNamara, stumbles, gets to his feet, down again, and Sommeil gets the ball clear. Celtic threatening again. Now comes Paul Lambert.
I mean, that could easily been a penalty as well. I mean, Paul Lambert's got hit there with the challenge, but if you show that one again, McNamara, I think he could have been fouled as he was going through. The referee wouldn't want to be so quickly given another penalty, but certainly McNamara was impeded.
Maybe the French television director is not too keen to look at that one again at the moment. Still maybe shocked and stunned by Larsson's equaliser. And here is Henrik Larsson again after his 17th goal of the season. In from Petrov. And it was a decent enough header, but Moravcik was heading back the way at the time, and it was difficult to get any great power on it. But again, Celtic doing an awful lot of attacking in this match. And that will be a delight. Could be a priceless goal for Celtic. A lot to do, obviously, a long way to go in this match, but the away goal they so badly wanted. If you've just joined us, it's 1-1 in Bordeaux, and we've 27.5 minutes gone of this Uefa Cup second round first leg match. The return to come at Celtic Park in 2 weeks' time,
They've done a lot.
Celtic, having got off to a good start, will now want to build on it.
Yeah, they've done a lot right in this game, Celtic, and apart from sloppy defending at that corner, then you would say that they've done nothing wrong at all. But that was a blow to be 1-0 down. McNamara must be really delighted that the system has remained intact, because Bordeaux haven't asked him a question, haven't put Dugarry into a position that's made Celtic shift from the normal style of play, and that always helps greatly when you can just play the way you've not been playing. Okay, Thompson's not available tonight in Sutton, but McNamara's come in there, Moravcik, two very capable players.
Laslandes unsuccessful in squeezing his pass through there. It was Valgaeren who intercepted. Larsson can't keep possession. Back goes Petta, and taking no chances as Legwinski came in, and the stony features there of Bopp on the bench for Bordeaux, and that is a goal which will have rocked him to his very core. The goal from Larsson after Christophe Dugarry had given Bordeaux the lead following a corner kick. Petta's clearance, Roche. Feindouno sweeps the ball out wide, but it was more than hope than anything else, and Agathe there first and let the ball run off Basto, the Portuguese left back for Bordeaux. Mjallby with the ball in his hands, aiming at Agathe, can't get his head to it. It's another throw. Celtic inching their way down the touchline. Bordeaux supporters beginning to find their voices again. They were silenced a few minutes ago with that penalty award. Basto's throw. Diabate. Grenet or Dugarry. Cross goes Paul Lambert again. In goes Petta to help out as well. It's good play, prevented that going behind for a corner kick. Shielding the ball well from Dugarry, and goes Grenet as well to help out. That's good play from Petta, very patient, and that's Petrov's hitch kick, which gets the ball even further downfield. Sommeil under pressure from Larsson, back it goes to Rame. Mjallby watched that all the way, good powerful header away. Agathe after it. Basto into Sommeil, the man who conceded the penalty kick, and Roche alongside. Bordeaux won the Uefa Cup in 1996. They made history in doing so as well, because they qualified from the Intertoto Cup, and they're the first team ever to go from Intertoto Cup all the way through to the UEFA Cup final. They lost out in the end to Bayern Munich. One of the top sides in French football over the last 4 seasons. Sommeil to Francois Grenet. Feindouno, the teenage wide midfield player, the Guinea international. Now all the way from right to left, Basto lays the ball back, shooting opportunity, but it's sliced wide, struck well enough by Legwinski. Got good contact here, but it was almost swerving away.
Yeah, they hadn't actually worked the ball through, but that's Bordeaux's best little spell of passing there, keeping possession of it, building a move up, taking the ball forward, finally ending with a distance shot, you have to say. But what you look at it, the Celtic have done a good job so far in preventing them building up that sort of football, and you know, at the moment the game's gone a little bit flat from Bordeaux's point of view.
1-1's probably about right, Gordon, but if any team were to be leading here, it would be Celtic, wouldn't it?
I think so, yeah. I mean, they can be very happy with their start away from home. As I say, haven't been all that impressed so far with Bordeaux. We know they're a top side, but Celtic have equally matched them good ball.
Larsson, lovely pass. Moravcik hesitated. Rame came out. Now Moravcik again. Tried to chip into the top corner. It would have been some goal had it come off. That was a lovely passage of play. It was well won initially by Mjallby. Good ball through with the outside of his foot from Larsson. And Gordon, I thought Moravcik was in there.
He was unlucky. He was just under a bit of pressure. I can see what he tried to do. The idea was perfect. There, the keeper was out, and then he spilled it. It was a great ball from Larsson outside of the foot, trying to do exactly what Larsson had done for Moravcik in the early part of the game with the through ball when Larsson failed to control it.
And that had Martin O'Neill getting a little bit excited again on the touchline. You saw his reaction earlier on to the opening goal, and he was bouncing up and down there again, thinking that Moravcik might just have put that one in.
Well, it's another sign. It said in terms of chances so far, Celtic have been the way side and counter-attacking at times that have created better openings, Rob, and I think that must be very encouraging. Martin O'Neill, I'm sure he thinks his team can definitely score at least one more goal here.
Pauleta's header down, Feindouno trying to escape the clutches of Bobby Petta, but he'll need to do a bit better than that to do so. He's had a good first half for Petta, very industrious, working hard when he goes back, and he's a threat when he goes forward, as he showed in the first 30 seconds when he got to the byline and pulled the ball back for Larsson. So it's very positive at the moment from a Celtic point of view, but they need to maintain the standard they've set. Feindouno trying to lay the ball off. It's a good one too for Grenet. Overlap, pulls the ball back from the byline, flipped away by Mjallby. An important header, chased out by Agathe. It's Legwinski getting turned. Celtic getting back behind the ball. That's so important. Combination of Moravcik and McNamara thwart Bordeaux, but they do have a free kick.
Yeah, having just praised Bobby Petta, went to sleep there because he thought the ball was originally was going to be intercepted and they weren't going to get a through pass, so he didn't track his runner, and the next thing the man's down on the right hand side and got a good cross in, so Bobby Petta will need to be alert.
And the foul given against Moravcik, and this a chance for Bordeaux to apply some pressure. From Grenet, a swirling free kick. Celtic defend it well, and Lambert's very cool as he plays the ball out, keeps possession, gets Celtic moving forward with Didier Agathe. Infield from him is Moravcik. Larsson makes his run, the pass too heavily hit. The idea was good, you could see exactly what Moravcik was trying to do with that reverse pass to pick out Larsson's run, but it didn't quite come off this time. Dugarry, great skills, joy to watch, really talented player. Sometimes hasn't really delivered all he should, but he's delivered a free kick there. Wry smile on his face maybe, made the most of it. Paul Lambert's challenge, but the referee gives Bordeaux the free kick, and Larsson telling him exactly where it should be taken from.
Yeah, he schooled Dugarry and going down there. The arm came across from Paul Lambert, and as soon as that happened, he knew he might be outrun for the ball, and he just threw himself down in a dangerous situation again.
Jonathan Gould indicates he wants two players in the wall for this free kick, and it's a busy box. Whipped in, low and hard, flicked away, and another headed opportunity for Dugarry, and he's disappointed. He didn't really get too much on it, and it was straight at Jonathan Gould. This a chance, undoubtedly, for Dugarry.
Yeah, it's a decent header down, but no power in it, and it made it quite easy for Gould, and it was a second touch header that didn't look flick on, I think, coming off a Celtic player.
Less than 10 minutes to go to half-time, and Celtic would love to take this scoreline into the away dressing room. 1-1 against Bordeaux, and were they to come away from Stade Lecure with a draw, they will be absolutely delighted, because it will lay the foundations for an advancement into the third round of the Uefa Cup, and that would rewrite history for them, because it's been miserable in recent times in Europe for Celtic, and they want to get back to the good old days. Agathe chases, he's quick enough to catch it. Sommeil goes with it. Now Agathe looks for reinforcements, whips in the cross for Larsson! Oh, brilliant save by Rame to deny him. Good ball in from Agathe, a flashing header from Larsson, and that's a top quality save.
Yeah, that's a great ball, and you've always got a chance with Larsson's ability in the air. See him getting over a much taller defender there. There's power in the header, and it's just a good hit with the keeper. Unfortunately, Larsson gets power in it, gets direction, but it's just too close to the keeper.
Good reflexes from Rame, and as Gordon said, it was possibly where he wanted it. If it had been steered down, Celtic might well have had a second goal there. Corner kick, and Moravcik to take it. Rame is grounded as the ball comes back off the crossbar, and a free kick given. And Larsson looking apologetic.
Yeah, I think that Mjallby's the man who just tries to nudge the keeper off it here as he's coming up for the cross, and you can see there an obvious foul, and it's a chance gone, because as he knocks the keeper over here, Larsson once again gets the header in, hits the crossbar.
Coming down a bit like the dying swan there, he looked Rame, but there was contact with Mjallby, and a few complaints from Celtic about that. So the countdown towards half-time continues, 7.5 minutes left, and it's Bordeaux 1, Celtic 1. Christophe Dugarry for the home team, followed by Henrik Larsson's penalty for Celtic. Good play from Agathe. McNamara loses it. Sloppy play there from Celtic. And here's a chance for Basto at the byline. Flicks off the head of Mjallby, and a corner kick conceded. Celtic will look upon this as an unforced error, really, because they had possession, gave it away, and suddenly it's corner kick. Gould taking charge on the goal line, organising the Celtic defence in front of him. Everyone inside the box for Celtic, apart from Didier Agathe, who's just a few yards outside. Laslandes, an obvious target. That was Moravcik at the near post who got it away. Good challenge from Agathe. And now Basto won the corner kick in the first place.
That might just have worked at the first goal against Celtic, because the keeper there, they called for Moravcik to come and stand in that near post area, and then he's got to, the French have to knock it over him, and they didn't manage it.
Dugarry through for Laslandes. He's on the ground. Still in, Petrov hammers the ball away. Half-hearted appeals, it sounded like, inside the stadium for a penalty kick there. And now Celtic on the counter. Through from Moravcik for Petta. That's well covered though by Grenet. Watched the Petta run and matched it. And now Feindouno. Back to Sommeil. Diabate. Of course, Bordeaux missing the influence of Martin Wilmots, the Belgian captain in the midfield, injured at the weekend. Here's another very influential figure, Christophe Dugarry. Teasing ball in towards Pauleta, headed away by Valgaeren, and worked on from Diabate to Grenet. Now Feindouno. Legwinski. Trying to find a way through. Wide for Diabate. Back to Grenet. Quick change of direction. Celtic working hard at closing down, making it difficult for Bordeaux to construct attacks and frustrate this man.
I don't think he'd be all that happy with how his side have played. Celtic have managed to negate them in midfield to stop them really getting forward in that area and building too many attacks. Dugarry's obviously been a threat. Paul Lambert's done his best to go and do a man-for-man job on him. If you keep Dugarry quiet, you probably take away about half their effectiveness. But they said he's such a good player, though he can create for other people.
Well, this was the claim for a penalty. Petrov involved for Celtic, and Gordon, what did you think here?
Nah, nothing at all.
He was down before Petrov arrived, wasn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. Petrov's come across and blocked it.
Inside the last 5 minutes of the first half, Bordeaux 1, Celtic 1 in Stade Lecure. Celtic will hope the scoreline stays this way for the closing stages of the first period. Jonathan Gould's clearance, left-footed. Lambert flicks the ball forward. Grenet heads it midfield to Sommeil, and back to Rame. Bordeaux, who put 5 goals past Lierse in the first round of the Uefa Cup, including a hat-trick for Pauleta. Attacking here, Dugarry is grounded, but he's very quickly back up again, to be fair. That time there was no real pretense at a claim for a penalty kick. Jackie McNamara was the player involved for Celtic.
Yeah, it was good covering with Jackie McNamara, because he's come from the midfield area, he's got himself into the right back position just to make sure that Dugarry didn't get free there. Paul Lambert had passed him on in that case, and then McNamara did a decent job just to make sure he's not going to get possession of the ball. But Celtic have got to be very vigilant at this time, Rob, just before half time. Make sure they give nothing away.
It would be a big psychological boost for Bordeaux were they to retake the lead at this stage, and Celtic will be watchful. Henrik Larsson certainly is. He kept himself onside there, drifting towards the byline again. Terrific play again from Larsson. Roche concedes a corner kick. He's always so alive mentally, Larsson, to what's going on round about him, and he gives Celtic another opportunity to cash in here with a corner kick to be taken by Petta. Mjallby makes his presence felt. In from Petta. Headed away by Dugarry, only as far as McNamara. Back to Petta. Drifted in towards Mjallby's head. Got his head to it successfully, but steered it wide of target. He was well away from goal there, Mjallby, and he gave it his all, but it wasn't a real threat to Rame.
Yeah, there was no pace in the cross really, so Mjallby had all the power in the header, and he's trying to score from where it is. It might have been better just to try and knock it down in the box and keep the pressure on there, but he's trying to score and he's having to put a full header in there.
You're always in these sort of situations trying to put the performance into perspective, and let's not forget that Bordeaux last season were playing in the Champions League. They got to the second phase of the competition as well before finishing bottom of Manchester United's group, but this is a side of real quality, despite the fact that Miku and Wiltor, the two French internationals, departed in the summer to Arsenal and Parma. They're a side full of quality, and Celtic, so far, let's stress again that this job is not yet half done, but so far Celtic can be very pleased with their efforts, but they must keep this going right up to half time. Feindouno through, offside, Pauleta.
Yeah, it was good work, good squeezing of the Celtic back three there. You can just see them just stepping out at the right time. Johan Mjallby's the last man there, very, very tight. That could easily have been onside. You can just see how the difference of one player going one way and the other player going the other. The gap opens so quickly, and he looked a mile offside from here, but when you see that replay again,
it's definitely onside, wasn't it? Yeah, that would have been a real chance for Bordeaux to retake the lead. There wasn't really a great deal of fuss made about that at the time. It looked glaringly offside, but as the pictures showed there, he was actually on. 1-1 it remains, and inside the last minute of the first half. Bruno Basto to David Sommeil, heading forward, and in the right back berth is Grenet. Infield intended for Diabate, but that wasn't accounting for the presence of Larsson. Another good interception, working hard for the team as ever. Petta loses out, but he was fouled by Feindouno. Free kick to Celtic, and we've played almost exactly 45 minutes.
Yeah, Valgaeren, the free kick was already given. He's into quite a strong challenge, and he's taking a knock on his ankle for his trouble there. But said before, I mean, they maybe got away with that one there, but they've got to be very careful. Celtic, they want to get a half time, the very worst one each.
2 minutes to be added, and we're playing the first minute of stoppage time as Ulrich Rame knocks the ball downfield. Johan Mjallby won the header, flicked away by Paul Lambert to Jos Valgaeren, who looks to be moving pretty freely, thankfully for Celtic. Here he is again, losing out this time to Feindouno. Diabate dives into the challenge. Valgaeren again took a deflection, run through to Jackie McNamara, gets a good pass away to Larsson. It runs free to Petta. Larsson and Moravcik in the middle. Moravcik chased it. It was always heading away from him, the cross. Gave it his best shot, and he's forced a corner kick because the last touch here was off.
Good defending, Basto. Yeah, Basto getting to the back post there, but it was good defending because the opportunity was there. Even if Agathe maybe had come in a little bit from the side, but I think he was taking a chance that if Moravcik didn't go on the end of it, then he could maybe get the next touch, but Basto's got between them and knocked it away.
The second minute of stoppage time, in the last minute, first half, in from Petta, headed away by Laslandes. Great header by Jackie McNamara. The boot seems to be high there from Pauleta. No free kick given, and this is the last chance of the first half. It could be one for Bordeaux. That's terrific play again. It's Didier Agathe doing a very impressive job of backtracking as Bordeaux threatened, and that pleased his manager no end.
I think it's his sign of his pace here. I was looking at the situation develop, and certainly Bordeaux had men up on Celtic, but Agathe, they came from nowhere in a 40-yard burst. He got himself a yard in front, intercepted the pass, and the danger was gone.
The 2 minutes of stoppage time are just about up now, and Eli Bopp checking his watch. And shortly the players will be heading down that tunnel. Indeed they will soon now. 1-1, a terrific scoreline for Celtic at half-time. Christophe Dugarry for Bordeaux first after 22 minutes. And then Larsson struck the equaliser 2 minutes later from the penalty spot after he'd been brought down. That replay that we showed you just a few minutes ago showed us that Pauleta might well have had a chance to restore Bordeaux's lead. But this, Gordon, has been a top performance. from Celtic in the first half, 1-1 at the interval.
An excellent performance. I don't want to take anything for granted, but they must be delighted so far. They've got that vital away goal, as we know, it can be crucial. They've defended well most of the time, apart from the corner kick. I think they could have defended it better, but in the main, the midfield's been solid. They've backed up the front men. Larsson and Moravcik have been inventive. They've created openings, and I feel that Celtic can score again in this game, but they have to be careful not to lose anything else.
In Bordeaux, it's 1-1 at half-time. And we're just reliving some of the highlights of the first half. And that was the incident where Moravcik had a chance to score. And then Rame's tip over the top from Henrik Larsson's header. 21,318 inside Stade Lecure. And well, certainly 4,000 of them are very happy with the way things have gone in the first half. The only complaint the Celtic fans might have, Gordon, is that having had so much of the first half, they might have expected more than 1-1.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think before the game they would have settled to be sitting in this position at this stage of the match. I know that Celtic have played very well, but you have to assume that the fans are delighted. They're giving them a rousing cheer. I mean, and huge Celtic support over here in Bordeaux. I reckon some in the region of about 7,000 Celtic fans. That's an enormous travelling support for any team to have, and their team are doing them proud at the moment.
Agathe having a little consultation with Stilian Petrov, and Bordeaux will certainly be looking for a whole lot more in the second half. They will feel that they need to take a lead of some sort at Celtic Park in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, they will do. I mean, they'll know that they've now got to score, obviously, at Celtic Park as well, but they might just change things we spoke about before. Celtic have been allowed to play the system that they've been playing for some weeks now. Bordeaux haven't given them a test. They haven't set them any problems really that made Celtic have to change things about. Okay, Dugarry was floating about, Paul Lambert's picked him up from time to time, he's gone wide, Jackie McNamara took him, but if Dugarry was to go play right up front on the left hand side, then Celtic would need to adjust, and that's what Martin O'Neill wouldn't want that. But at the moment things are going well for Celtic because they can play their normal way.
And the second half is underway. The job for Celtic is only half done. Been a tremendous showing in the first 45 minutes. They need to repeat that, and if they can repeat that in the second half, then they should have a very good result to take back to Celtic Park for the second leg in 2 weeks' time, and give themselves an excellent chance of moving through to the third round of the competition for the first time since season 83-84.
No obvious change right away. They talk about Rob, same sort of setup. They're playing a 4-2 in the two sort of wide area, so it's like almost like a 4-4-2 with Dugarry, but he'll probably float about. He started off there in the first half, but they certainly haven't the three up front, still playing with the two, and there's no doubt that Laslandes has been a very disappointing performer.
Good passing from Celtic, lovely move down the right hand side, keeping possession well, causing problems. Jackie McNamara bursting into the penalty box, and he's held away by Francois Grenet, who gets the ball clear for Bordeaux. They now try to spark an attack of their own. Laslandes, and alongside him Diabate, booked in the first half, and on the wide side of midfield Feindouno, ahead of him Pauleta. Tom Boyd keeping a very close watch and forcing Bordeaux into mistakes.
Yeah, Pauleta started very sharply in the game and looked as if he was going to be a real threat, and he's fallen away. Tommy Boyd's done a good job marking him and just stayed alongside him most of the time. Tommy Boyd's reasonably pacey as well, making sure that he's not getting any freedom to play.
He's got 17 Portuguese caps and 4 goals for the country as well, does Pauleta, who arrived here at Bordeaux from Deportiva La Coruña in Spanish football, and he certainly made a quick impact with Bordeaux. Here's a man who's made a tremendous impact in the last few years at Celtic Park, Henrik Larsson. Phenomenal goal scoring record, but it's not just his goals, there's a lot more to the play of Henrik Larsson than that. His fellow Swede Johan Mjallby, composed at the back, waiting his moment there before releasing the ball down the line for Agathe. And now Roche for Bordeaux.
I think I would say this is the best I've seen Larsson play this season already, Rob. I mean, he's still scoring goals this season. I don't think he's quite recaptured the form he had before his leg break, but tonight looks back to to his best, holding the ball up, and the confidence that he's playing with, and the runs he's making as well.
Feindouno, good balance, cutting inside, still has possession. That's good for Dugarry, a dangerous ball in, and Mjallby got a very important touch there. Otherwise there was a chance for Laslandes in the penalty box. Just deflected the ball behind the striker, and danger over at that stage.
Yeah, Dugarry peeled away to the back post, you see here, and he knocks it. First time across goal. It's a vital touch there. Laslandes was coming onto it there, and it was swept up by Tommy Boyd, and then he just pushed it wide. But Moravcik got a sore one there. Once again, it was the 18 Diabate who's obviously got a yellow card already. The solid challenger on, he's limping.
Tom Boyd's free kick fired up to the head of Henrik Larsson, gets a good touch. Jackie McNamara was chasing it, and Rame had to be quickly off his line to gather this. Again, good knockdown from Larsson. Almost exactly a year ago, that horrific night in Lyon when Henrik Larsson suffered the leg break, which was to keep him out for the rest of the season, and only made his return at Euro 2000 with Sweden. What a comeback he's made, and yet to get another vital goal for Larsson tonight. He scored in each of Celtic's last 5 matches, 17 goals for the season.
I think his pace could be used to good effect tonight, Agathe, on that right hand side. Certainly they're worried about him, and when he does open up, he is so quick as well, and he just needs to relieve the pressure at times just by running the ball down into the corner flag.
4.5 minutes gone in the second half. Bordeaux 1, Celtic 1. Dugarry and Larsson, the scorers, within 2 minutes of each other midway through the first half. Feindouno knocks it down for Diabate, trying to link with Petta. Good defending again from Mjallby. That was Sommeil, the central defender, with a powerful header, and he again chesting it down this time for Diabate. Back to Roche and Feindouno. Bordeaux trying to build some confidence and trying to ask questions of Celtic. Feindouno in from the wide position to a more central area now. That's a good run by Basto. The tackle from the back was by Agathe, and that's a free kick. Pretty pacey customer, Basto. Dugarry with terrific control of the ball, with a follow-up challenge from Agathe, enough to get the ball away from him. Lambert was doing the marking job. These feel important moments in the match. Celtic trying to safeguard their position. The overlap from Grenet. That's for Laslandes, his header. It's not a real problem for Jonathan Gould. Possibly caught in 2 minds there between a header at goal and a knockdown for Pauleta. Loose stuff from Bordeaux. Celtic have it back with Mjallby. Sommeil's header, bouncing towards Laslandes, heads it down to Dugarry. Legwinski. Pretty theatrical from Basto.
Getting the free kick though. Making the most of it there. Paul Lambert's almost been caught in a sort of right back area at the moment, because that's where Dugarry keeps drifting in there, and he's trying to do a man-for-man job on him.
Good skills again from Dugarry, lofted in for Pauleta. Good play again from the Celtic central defensive trio of Mjallby, Boyd and Valgaeren, and there you get the feeling will be increasingly important to the team as this match goes on. 7 minutes into the second half. Sommeil, Legwinski, Diabate, Grenet now, down the line for Laslandes. That's a good dummy. He's taken Valgaeren out, but he's too heavy with the ball in. Mjallby heads away. Back in from Dugarry. The flag is up from the assistant on this side. The offside flag up. and the attack fizzles out, but that was impressive from Laslandes.
Yeah, first we've seen him, he's been disappointing. He got a real break there because having dummied it, could quite easily have just gone to Valgaeren, but he went through his legs and he's thrown the ball to the back post, which is also a dangerous area, but without Laslandes, he's probably one of the ones who'd expect to go and win it there, so Celtic would be quite comfortable if he's crossing the ball in all night.
Henrik Larsson, lovely footwork. It breaks for Agathe. Good hit from Didier Agathe, bang on target. You wouldn't expect him to score from that sort of position, but he did the best he could, and there was nothing rather Rame could do than parry that one round the corner.
Yeah, he's had a look first and decided, that there was an opportunity there. Rame's got it away, but certainly Henrik Larsson, good footwork from him, and when the ball broke to Agathe, Larsson drifted away to the back post.
A corner kick from Moravcik, no challenge on Rame as he grabs it. Mjallby was the nearest to getting anything of a challenge on that corner from Moravcik. And now Christophe Dugarry sprinting forward. Back goes Agathe, working hard. The Martin O'Neill philosophy of give it everything and hard work to go with the skill, and Agathe following that shot at goal with a lifting run back down the touchline to get in the way of Dugarry. Grenet to Laslandes. Off Petta. It's a Bordeaux throw. Feindouno didn't look entirely sure what he was doing there. Stick of it back with Petrov. McNamara. Back for Mjallby. Possession lost this time.
Yeah, they're under a little bit of pressure in this second half. Celtic have been pinned in a bit more than they were in the first half, and that kind of its risks and consequences if Celtic allow Bordeaux to keep building up in their own half. So they've got to get out. Tommy Boyd is captain in there as a spare player most of the time. He's got to push the team out. They've got to start getting forward. Here's the Petta on the ball now. They haven't got as forward as much at all in the second half. On the left hand side, they were causing problems in the first half down there on both sides, in fact, and they need to get more from Petta.
Yeah, he's barely seen the ball to turn it in, Gordon.
Yep.
But he's won a free kick there, and that means Mjallby and Valgaeren pushing forward for Martin O'Neill's team alongside Henrik Larsson just inside the penalty box, and Moravcik on his right foot heading towards Mjallby, and that's a throw-in. Whipped in towards Mjallby by Moravcik, but headed away. And that's a goal kick, despite Petta's efforts. And I wonder how much longer it will be before Bordeaux complete a change, maybe freshen things up. Celtic with the likes of Berkovic and Stubbs and Reset on the bench. Tommy Johnson as well.
Yeah, I would think with the job has been asked to do tonight and not played enough a lot of football, Moravcik might be the one that's changed over at some stage, maybe to give Berkovic a role there to get forward, or maybe even Tommy Johnson.
That's given away by Roche. Interception by Moravcik and a good pass. Agathe played that very quickly. Jackie McNamara was trying to get back into an onside position.
Yeah, those are exactly the type of situations where you would just say to Jackie McNamara, just drift off the situation, try and draw a defender away, leave it 1 against 1 over on the far side with Agathe, and let him go and just take his man on in those circumstances. Don't have to make a run in behind the pace that Agathe has.
As Laslandes' header directed towards Dugarry. Celtic get it clear. Larsson on his own, up on the half. Grenet. Poor one, aimed at Feindouno. Bobby Petta with a comfortable interception. And looked as if he was fouled there, Petta, as he tried to get beyond Feindouno. Possession lost. Feindouno gets to the byline. That's a testing ball in, but it had gone across the goal line. But Bobby Petta there, maybe a little bit over-ambitious in a dangerous area.
Yeah, he was caught dwelling on it, and it was good football from Bordeaux to get themselves wide, but I don't think there's any question that ball initially had gone out from the cross. It was a dangerous one though, but Celtic had mopped it up anyway.
And that was the instant in which Petta lost possession. I thought he might have been fouled in the first place, but it certainly offered up an opportunity for Bordeaux and Feindouno to get to the byline. And thankfully, from a Celtic point of view, the curling ball back was behind before it reappeared in play at the far post.
It's interesting that looking at the subs, and I don't know what in Bordeaux might do in an attacking sense, but they've got two defenders on the bench, two centre backs, Celtic and Agathe, who've both been linked with Celtic over the last couple of seasons as players that Celtic were definitely moved for. In fact, I think they did move for Sommeil, because and it was just the players' terms were too high.
It's Bruno Basto getting forward again, making another good run for Bordeaux. The ball whipped in, diving header away. Was by Valgaeren, claims for handball. Mostly from the crowd, it has to be said. No way through for Moravcik. Diabate for Grenet. Diabate again, Laslandes. Watched closely by Valgaeren, and that was Valgaeren stretching out to get his toe to it, and that's a heavy challenge from Laslandes on Larsson, and it's a yellow card for Laslandes. Got himself on the wrong side of Larsson, and he's got himself on the wrong side of the ref now.
Yeah, I've been interested to watch this again, because it looked to me as if Henrik Larsson went across him and then put an arm into him. He's grabbed him by the waist. I think it's just the way Henrik Larsson's fallen down there that it's got him injured. You can see Henrik Larsson goes across him just to commit the defender, which is the right thing to do, or commit the player, Laslandes, and Laslandes has just wrapped himself, but it might have actually damaged Larsson in terms of the way he's fallen here. Yeah,
it's not like Larsson to stay on the ground unless absolutely necessary, and he hasn't really moved from the position in which he fell, so this is a big concern for Celtic, because apart from his goal threat, Henrik Larsson works so hard for the team.
Yeah, he's not a player you'd want to see go off for Celtic at this stage, because he always is capable of scoring another goal in this match, but Celtic have to step up their work rate a little bit in the second half, to be honest, because they're giving the ball away too cheaply. They're not supporting the front men when they should. He's injured again. At least if he just clipped him in the ankle there as he went over and just the way he fell, and then he's hit him on the head as well. That's what kicked him on the face.
Well, the stretcher was on for Henrik Larsson. Luckily that now appears to have been waved away, but he looks a bit groggy.
Just one of his nose is still damaged from the first half as well, from the challenge the goalkeeper had on him.
He's over at the touchline. Celtic down to 10 men temporarily, but more important to them is that they get Larsson back on in a minute. Tom Boyd with the free kick, failing to find Agathe. McNamara in, flicks it forward, and Sommeil lets it run through.
He doesn't have much luck in France, Henrik Larsson, you've got to say, Rob. Just wonder if he'd consider coming his holidays here.
I know, exactly. But hopefully it's nothing like as serious as last time, and indeed Henrik Larsson now back on the pitch, getting a little bit from the home supporters who clearly felt that he'd made a meal of the situation.
I was going back to, there was loads of support in the first half for the front men. Moravcik and Larsson were getting ably supported by the midfield, and that has to happen a little bit more second half. We've got to get up to support. McNamara's been the most liable to do that in this second half, but they need to get a bit more from Petrov, who's sort of fallen out of the game. I mean, he's played the touches in the first half, but seen very little of him. Paul Lambert's having to do a man-for-man marking job, so he's not there to support things at the moment. He's doing an important job in that other sense, but you've got to get Petta and Agathe in the wide areas as well to try and run forward and just take the game to that end of the field. Otherwise, Celtic under pressure, something might just break in the box and Bordeaux get another goal.
Back it goes to Rame. Bordeaux trying to build something with Feindouno. Instruction given against Petta. Free kick in for this challenge. The 19-year-old Feindouno again. Petta's injured. Laslandes with the layoff, and that's a free kick just outside the penalty box, conceded by Agathe, and a yellow card for Agathe as well.
I wasn't sure he made contact there, to be honest with you. I think Dugarry was always looking for the free kick here. Just see it again. Nah, I don't think he touched
Not enough a lot, but he certainly timed the fall well.
Perfectly timed. But Bobby Petta's still down, and they haven't even looked. The referee's trying to sort things out one side of the field. Bobby Petta's still down injured.
Another chance to determine here whether there was any contact whatsoever. Agathe flung himself in, and I think Dugarry at that point decided he was going to make the most of the lunge from Agathe, and it certainly was a convincing fall, and the referee was taken in, and Celtic will feel badly done to if Bordeaux can make anything of this free kick, as Bobby Petta gets some running repairs. Again, the stretcher is on. And here's how Petta was hurt. He went over on his ankle there. That might well be an awkward one. And he'll hope that he's able to run this knock off.
Yeah, Basto one, but he's limping off. Didn't use the stretch, but definitely needing some treatment on that. And down to 10 men at the moment, Celtic, they won't be making a change till they find out how he is, and have to defend this free kick on the edge of the box. Looks like Laslandes maybe ready to have a shot.
Everyone behind this for Celtic, and Laslandes is the man over the ball. He fancies himself for a crack at goal here. And it's a packed penalty box, and this could be difficult for Jonathan Gould. It's Laslandes, juggled by Gould. Not the best of handling there. It came through a ruck of players, no doubt about that. This was always going to be difficult for Jonathan Gould. It did take a slight deflection, in fact, and it ended up coming off his shins, I think, and spinning behind.
Yeah, definitely cut to heels, and he's going one way, and he's just caught, his arms just can't get the ball in, so he's done the right thing.
Corner kick whipped in at the near post. Mjallby headed it clear. Feindouno. And that's a good recovery from Bobby Petta. Looked for a moment as if Feindouno had got in behind him. Petta got back well to knock the ball behind. Corner kick quickly taken. The flighted cross headed away by Mjallby. A big man in the centre of the defence in all senses of the word, Johan Mjallby. But Celtic being hemmed in at the moment, looking to get some possession and get some forward movement. Legwinski, it's a good run, stumbling though at the last minute, and a free kick. Pauleta, under pressure from McNamara. Diabate to Roche, good pass, good run by Laslandes. Bobby Petta watched him, as well as Valgaeren. And Roche. Out to the left back, Basto. Dugarry. Celtic don't mind them getting on the ball in that sort of area. Flighted in for Laslandes. Again it's Mjallby. Legwinski. Dugarry. A little bit casual. And Jackie McNamara wasn't. Moravcik. Only Moravcik and Larsson are up for Celtic. And the Slovakian loses out. Now Bordeaux on the counter. Feindouno to Bruno Basto. Laslandes linking play together. Free kick given.
There's been no noticeable step up in Bordeaux's play in this second half, but it's certainly getting much more possession, and it's all in Celtic's half. And I just wonder if Celtic are just sitting in too much. The back players there are not pushing up to support things, and consequently Celtic are not playing anywhere near the sort of football they played in the first half. They're just soaking up pressure, more of a typical European away leg this, and maybe a bit more than we actually expected in the beginning of what the game would be like.
In from Roche, away by Mjallby. Now Didier Agathe at the edge of the box. Just thumps it upfield towards Moravcik. The aerial tussle with Alain Roche. And Dugarry trying to be a bit too clever that time.
I think Celtic might contemplate changes because just to freshen it up and fresh legs. Certainly Moravcik's a capable player, but he's not a strong running player, and they might just decide to get a little bit more running power up front as well.
We're into the final quarter of the match. Bordeaux 1, Celtic 1. Dugarry and Larsson, the goal scorers in the first half. Well, there's 2 balls in play at the moment. One is removed, Valgaeren is the other. Aims at Henrik Larsson. Roche kept his eye on the ball and headed it clear. Dugarry. Good pass for Legwinski. Laslandes with the layoff. Dugarry again. Tried to just flick that one out wide for Feindouno, but it didn't come off. And the sounds of frustration around the stadium.
There's a much loved son here. I mean, even a round of applause and a little cheer there when he's making mistakes, but he's such a talented player. I think that at times he overdoes it, and that allows other people to get out of position because he holds it maybe a bit more than he should. But when he does the right sort of thing and when he uses his ability, he is really good to watch.
That's a poor clearance by Rame. Larsson almost had it. Agathe has. Support comes from McNamara. McNamara trying to wriggle his way towards the byline. He's done well. The tackle from McNamara might well have been a free kick. I thought corner kick is given.
Yeah, I think he had a good opportunity to get a free kick. Good work by him, but you see here the tackle comes in from behind as he's about to cross it, and the player's pointing for a corner. But you see here, gets himself free, wriggles out of the challenge, but just look at the way that he's being chased, and Basto is in the tackle from behind, and I think that could easily have been a free kick.
Moravcik with the corner kick. Here's a chance at the far post. Headed away by Dugarry. Laslandes doing some defending as well. Laslandes, good pass. Feindouno against Boyd. That's a neat little ball in, and Jonathan Gould didn't stop that going behind for a corner kick. It was Paul Lambert who went sliding in to the rescue of the penalty box, and Gould stopped it going behind. Diabate, Legwinski, Basto, Dugarry. Lambert, eyes fixed firmly on the ball. Legwinski again. Basto. Looking for a free kick as Didier Agathe dived in. Free kick given. And there was contact, wasn't there?
I think he made the most of it because he realised he's kicked the ball out for a goal kick there, and they didn't be going down and got the free kick.
Grenet with the free kick. Diving header away by McNamara. Not the most testing of free kicks really, but good defending from Celtic, and they might need to do a little bit more here. Henrik Larsson, lovely control of the ball and change of direction. Ended up by overrunning it, but good ability from Larsson, and he remains a real threat to Eli Vop's hopes of piloting Bordeaux into the next round of the Uefa Cup. Mjallby, safety first, get downfield. Legwinski, Dugarry, Laslandes chases, and Bobby Petta turns it behind for a corner kick. He was concerned that Jonathan Gould wasn't going to make this.
This is good covering. Petta gets himself in a nice area there. I think he did the right thing. Jonathan Gould probably would have got it, but just to make sure, a nice little ball from Dugarry, just finding the space there. Laslandes after it, Petta gets it away.
They're queuing up for Bordeaux in the penalty box. In from Grenet, good delivery. Guess who? Mjallby again, first to the header. Diabate. Coast international, booked in the first half. Sommeil to the feet of Dugarry. Chipped in for Laslandes, but a weedy looking effort, that one, and it's bounced through to Jonathan Gould. That's for Larsson, but Roche gets there. Composed enough to get the ball under control, but now he's lost it. Agathe. Strong play from Didier Agathe. Takes a bit of shifting, and the cross, sadly for Moravcik, is beyond him. After good play to work the opening from Agathe. Feindouno for Laslandes. Back inside, Petta stretching out and manages to complete the interception. McNamara, Agathe for Lambert. Of keeping the ball when they have it, that's crucial. Offside against Larsson. They'd lost it initially there, Petta, but Feindouno's first touch led him back in for a second crack. Nearly 29 minutes gone in the second half. Still 1-1 in Bordeaux. Scottish football needs a good result in Europe after last night's disappointment in Austria for Rangers. Celtic hope they can come up with it. That's lost by Lambert. Dugarry for Laslandes. This could be dangerous for Celtic. The far post, chip, it's off the post. That was close.
Yeah, okay, and Paul Lambert caught possession in midfield and quickly they got the ball to Laslandes. A great cross, you have to say, but a very tight angle there to try and work that in. And it was
Pauleta,
Pauleta who get into the back post. Decent header, but he'd been better knocking that back across goal, because they did have Dugarry in there to support it, but didn't do the best of finish. But Celtic giving the ball away, launched a good attack and then gave it away.
It's most unlike Paul Lambert, but that was his mistake, and Celtic can ill afford to do that, because that was what sparked that Bordeaux attack. Outside of the post in the end for Pauleta's header. Advantage played after a foul, and looks at it from Feindouno. Flag almost up from the assistant on this side for the initial infringement, the shirt tugging there from Petta. That was the foul, but the referee correctly playing advantage. Although try telling that to the Bordeaux fans at the moment. Inside the last 15 minutes of the match, it's 1-1. Christophe Dugarry and Larsson with the goals so far. Here is Dugarry. In for Pauleta, Valgaeren got his head to it. Petta shepherds the ball clear. That's good play from Petta, taking the ball out of the danger area and then inviting the challenge from Feindouno.
Yeah, he's had a hard game in the second half. Feindouno has come into the match a lot more, Robin. First half Petta was getting hard, but he's been more or less kept to defensive role in this second half, and consequently stopped Celtic having any attacks really at all down the left hand side. It's all been over on the right.
Sommeil to Basto. That was intended for Dugarry, but it was nowhere near the target. And now Paul Lambert a chance to use the Celtic position. It was aimed at Didier Agathe, who seemed to be caught as he tried to get down that touchline, and he's hobbling, but seems to be okay. Bordeaux have a lot of urgency about them at this stage. They have to. This is a match they feel they have to win. Grenet. Dugarry, the first time ball for Laslandes, running round Grenet on his left foot, chipped back in looking for Pauleta. It drops for Grenet again, but he's guilty of a tug at the shirt of Didier Agathe. Celtic have a free kick and some relief after Grenet got himself involved quite a few times in that Bordeaux attack.
I mean, it might turn out to be the right sort of thing to do. It might work out for them, but I just feel Celtic are sitting in a little bit too much, Robin. That there's a lot of 1-2s you can play on the edge of the box, and just think that they're bringing a lot of trouble on themselves. The first half when they pushed right up, Bordeaux not getting a chance,
and now they're inviting Bordeaux to come at them, really, which they in turn will do, because in front of their home fans they will want to deliver a result which gives them at least a chance in the second leg. Although Celtic will think back to Lyon a year ago. They lost 1-0 in the first leg, and Larsson with a a chance there. He was onside. A chance there for Henrik Larsson to pull this down.
Absolutely, he should take this on his chest. What a great position. It was a 2v1 situation. Defender had sat in far too deep, and Celtic had 2 players forward there. That's a good chance gone.
It's unlike Henrik Larsson to make the wrong decision. That appeared to be it there, though. There was time, there was room. Maybe he needed a shout, but he could have chested that down and got in on goal and really given Celtic a result to cheer about. I was mentioning Lyon a year ago. Celtic lost 1-0, and they lost, of course, Larsson overseas as well. But the match was still there for them in the return at Celtic Park. Sadly, on that occasion, they lost again by the same margin, and their European campaign was over. They want to do a more professional job this time round, and they certainly want to hang on to this 1-0 scoreline here. Dugarry probing at the Celtic defence. Jos Valgaeren stretching to clear that one. Now it's Agathe with the responsibility. Laid it back from Mjallby, and he unloaded it. But they're coming at Celtic in waves. The pass Legwinski to Dugarry. What a good challenge that was. And it had to be from Agathe. He timed that very well. And you got the feeling that Dugarry would have seized on any opportunity there to have claimed a penalty kick. But Agathe got his timing absolutely right. Celtic have lost possession, and it's Laslandes. Infield for Feindouno. Getting towards the box, Pauleta's layoff. That's a good challenge from Petta. Against Lilian Laslandes. Celtic have it now. A tired-looking Moravcik plays the ball infield. Petrov took a knock, and there's a free kick. And I wonder how much longer Martin O'Neill will persevere with Moravcik. He looks pretty tired to me, Gordon.
Yeah, I think he's tired. I think that probably about the right time to make a substitution. I wouldn't be even against it putting Agathe through the middle. I think that putting him there would cause a problem. You could bring on the likes of Healy and play him, but first substitution comes obviously a defender coming on. Sommeil, who, as I said before, was a Celtic target last season or the season before.
Yep, Yugoslav international. He's played more than 30 times for his country. Nisa Savalic, and it's a straight swap, central defender for central defender, with Roche now taking his place in the dugout.
I was going to say it was a bit Healy position where Agathe's playing on that right hand side. He can run that position, give Moravcik a rest and put Agathe through the middle.
Good run again from Feindouno. Good pass as well for Laslandes. His cross deflected away from Pauleta. That was a good touch for Celtic, because that was heading for the head of Pauleta. Now Agathe for Celtic, up to Henrik Larsson, trying manfully to keep the ball. Savalic. Feindouno again, inside the last 10 minutes of the match. Good challenge. Petrov. Now Moravcik gets in. Celtic scrapping for everything. It could be a nervous conclusion to this match, as Celtic try to hang on to what they've got, which at the moment is a 1-1 draw with Bordeaux. The teenager Feindouno again, and breakdown in communication there with Legwinski. Celtic get the ball out to Didier Agathe. Strength and pace and composure, good stuff. That's a good pass as well. Did well there, Didier Agathe. Back on home soil, used to play with Montpellier. And here's another man who used to play in French football, Moravcik. Run into Savalic. Too many grey shirts around about him. Ultimately there, Bobby Petta was in a wide position, wanting the ball. Laslandes lays it back for Savalic, and there's a man who's just on the pitch and trying to get to grips with it. And the pass nowhere near Bruno Basta, as Bordeaux prepared to make a second change. It's Laurent Batles who will come on in place of Sylvain Legwinski, and a lot of people thought that Laurent Batles would have started this match, because he tends to be the player who comes in when Mark Wilmots is unavailable. Celtic still don't want to make a change. Less than 8 minutes left. Legwinski back talk in the dugout. Smile on his face, but there can't be too much satisfaction among the Bordeaux players at the moment. If Celtic can hang on here, this is just the result they were looking for. I said earlier on that the last, when Scotland played here in the World Cup of '98, it finished 1-1. And chatting with John Robertson, the assistant manager before the match, said to him that would be quite a good result if you can repeat that one, and that's the way it is at the moment, Gordon. Yeah, but superb result. The Celtic didn't keep it this, or even got a winning goal. I mean, still little signs that they can still get forward and create with an opening earlier on for Larsson. Feindouno's pass, a good one for Pauleta. Corner kick off Tom Boyd. Feindouno has been an impressive performer in the second half. Setting up Pauleta and his cross off Boyd. And there's a study in concentration on the goal line, Jonathan Gould. Francois Grenet with the corner kick. Flicked on at the near post, and a good header as well from 8 yards out by the substitute Saveljic, but it was straight at Jonathan Gould. Really easy save. Here's Pauleta, the Portuguese international. The cross headed away by Paul Lambert. Finds Didier Agathe. He's fouled surely by Laslandes, tripped from behind. And the seconds tick away. Now just over 5 minutes left. Yeah, I mean there'll be some injury time as well. Obviously because of the injuries to likes of Petta and Larsson in this second half, maybe at least a good 2 or 3 minutes, Rob. They've done well. I'm quite surprised that Martin O'Neill maybe just doesn't want to interrupt the shape of his team and making any changes in either personnel or in basically the system as play as well. As I said, I think maybe a gap through the middle might do very well for him. He maybe just doesn't want to change it about. Just keep things going the way it's going. It's working so far, and there's still, the fact it's one each means it's worked. Grenet, Feindouno again threatening for Bordeaux, but he's come up against the rock-like figure of Jos Valgaeren. That's good play from the Belgian international defender. A free kick is Celtic's as well. Yeah, it was good defending, well timed. Very tough customer, Valgaeren, very strong man, reasonable pace he's got as well, good in the air, and he defended that well because he was taken on by the forward at all. He just turned them and won it cleanly in the box. Not always an easy thing to do. There wasn't much doubt there, that was going to be his ball, Valgaeren, very determined, won it well. Petrov to Petta, that's a foul by Feindouno. Barge into Bobby Petta. Now 4 minutes plus stoppage time, separating Celtic from a very impressive result in Bordeaux. Petta's cross grabbed unchallenged by and immediately thumps it downfield. Yeah, it was a bit of a waste. It wasn't a good ball, that, because Moravcik had gone wide. They could have kept the ball in that area, and a better ball would have been to play to Moravcik. He crosses such a good ball anyway. That's the reason he hadn't taken the free kick, was because he wanted to be in possession further up the field. Frantic activity from Martin on the touchline, wanting Celtic to maintain 100% concentration in these crucial closing stages. Grenet fired in low, takes a little touch off Dugarry, but no great threat. Bordeaux coming again with Dugarry, Diabate, and the header drops wide, but the offside was up. Anyway, it wouldn't have counted had this ended up in the back of the net from Pauleta. I thought it was a lay flag because I thought Pauleta was off all the time, and I looked right away at the linesman. He didn't put it up initially, and I'm not sure. I think he thought that the header for Pauleta might have been going to another player, and that's why he gave offside. So if Pauleta headed that straight in, I'm not so sure he was given offside there. Laslandes and Bordeaux looking to make one final effort, trying to turn a draw into a win. Celtic will be firm favourites to get through to the third round of the competition if the scoreline stays this way. Celtic with a home game to come. Of course, that has its own potential pitfalls, and you get the feeling there's a lot of life yet in this tie.
Well, it does. It's still wide open, but the main thing about Celtic is they've got the goal away from home. Last year in Lyon, that they get back from being 1-0 down, and it meant that they were always under pressure at home, and when they lost a goal initially and had to score 3 goals, they didn't look like doing it. But this year, big difference. I mean, the vital away goal.
Martin O'Neill with John Robertson and Steve Walford alongside him as Bordeaux now make another change, and this time it's to be Hervé Bounier who won. One last throw of the dice from Elie Bopp. Jonathan Gould hammers the ball downfield. Basto gets a header away. Savilic plays it out for Feindouno, and overlapping Grenet for Dugarry. Inevitably Paul Lambert is with him, wants to stick close. Bobby Petta in there as well, and a corner kick is the outcome. Always a menace, Christophe Dugarry. Never quite know what's coming next from him.
Good covering from Petta, because what you want is one player like Lambert goes across with Dugarry and slows him down, but then you need a bit of assistance. You need the second man to come in there and close the space too, because Paul Lambert doesn't want to commit himself to a challenge because Dugarry's so sharp.
Inside the 90th minute, corner kick from Grenet, flicked away by Mjallby. Diabate squares it to Basto, trying to get on the outside of Agathe. Made a good challenge, advantage played. In from Laslandes, the header back. And it might break for Grenet. Still has it. The pass though behind Laslandes. The Bordeaux striker furious when the pass went behind him there when he wanted it played to his feet. Another little flurry in the Celtic penalty box, and Larsson takes the ball downfield. 90 minutes played.
It was amazing that, Rob, because he had a choice of it, 3 or 4 passes forward. They could have picked up a player there, a teammate, and he decided to play a square ball straight to Agathe, so the chance was gone. But I said there will be a bit of extra time here because
5 minutes apparently.
Yeah, well, that'll be a fair bit. There was injuries to Larsson and injuries to Petta, which took a bit of time.
Laslandes off. Bounier is the substitute. We're into stoppage time in Bordeaux. 4.5 minutes to play. This could be a nerve-wracking finale to the match for Celtic, and they won't want to undo all the good work they've done tonight by a lapse in these closing stages. The ball is up at the right end of the pitch for them at the moment, and it's Rame who's having to do the organising this time. 2 in the wall for him, and Henrik Larsson leaves the free kick to Moravcik. Mjallby and Valgaeren possible targets here, and that's a yellow card for Moravcik for time wasting according to the referee. Very graciously accepted there by Moravcik.
It was, wasn't it?
Here's the free kick, headed away by Diabate. Bobby Petta onto it. Oh, good play from Petta, saw the gap, immediately into it. Bobby Petta. Well, I thought he was looking for a penalty kick, but he was very quickly up and after the ball, but great presence of mind to see the gap that had opened up.
It was a great run, wasn't it? He did excellent there. It bought a bit of time, and they could have got through, but in the end up nothing came of it. At least they kept some Bordeaux penned in for a few more seconds.
Bounier, the substitute, wriggling back, trying to find some room, and that's a foul by Petrov, and it's a yellow card for Petrov, and that's the yellow card which will keep him out of the return match, already with a yellow card in the competition. So Petrov out for the return at Celtic Park in 2 weeks' time. A little bit rash, a little bit reckless in an area in which he didn't really need to dive in.
I agree with you. A challenge you need to make, and at this stage of the game, knowing he had a yellow card, he missed the return game. That's a bit of a blow for Celtic, losing a player like Petrov.
And it could be another blow here. In from Grenet, the free kick. And again, the woodwork is rattled by Bordeaux. Christophe Dugarry with his head in his hands. Good delivery from Grenet. Again, it was Dugarry with the aerial threat, and Jonathan Gould could only look back in relief there, Gordon.
Yeah, it's gone off the side of his head really, but it's a good leap again. He's won it, and he's been a threat to Celtic in the air, and he's disappointed but hit the post. But Celtic finally are making a change now. Waste a bit of time too. It looks like Petta's going to come off.
Good free kick from Grenet, and well won in the middle by Dugarry. But maybe credit the challenge there against Dugarry as well. It was far from a free header, and it came off the outside of the upright. So Celtic make a change, and it's Bobby Petta who's worked hard, and he's off, and he gets a clap on the back as he heads for the dugout from Martin O'Neill, and it's Coley who's on in his place. More defending for Celtic to do. Jos Valgaeren plays the ball straight to Feindouno. That was a mistake. Now Pauleta. Feindouno again. Drifted into the far post. This is dangerous. Dugarry stretched out. There's the player behind him who might have carried even more threat here if Dugarry had let that go.
Yeah, I think he took off his head. To be honest with you, Bartlett's is getting into the back post. He's probably not going to score from that angle. He can knock it back across goal. Dugarry doesn't see him coming and clears the danger.
Just a minute left. 1 minute of stoppage time to go. 1-1, Bordeaux against Celtic. Brunier plays the ball through. Pauleta, he was being held back, was he, by Jos Valgaeren. Goal kick is the outcome, and fists flying in the penalty box. A furious reaction to the fact a penalty kick wasn't given there, and this could be a red card because arms were raised. It looked to me as if a punch was thrown there after Celtic escaped the penalty claim, and it's the Portuguese player Pauleta who gets a yellow card, and Paul Lambert does as well. And was this a claim for a penalty kick against Sommeil?
I think it's just caught him as he's running through, but I think that the players made the most of it there. He's looking for a penalty kick here. There's no doubt Tommy Boy's trying to get through, but it's not enough to actually bring him down. Just going for the penalty. Very brave decision from the referee, I have to say, because there's many a referee would have given it.
Here's a good break. Petrov! Saved by Rame, struck with the outside of his right foot by Petrov. Pretty impressive fitness there to be bursting into the box at this stage of the match. We've played now 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes of stoppage time. It's almost over. It is now! 1-1 in Bordeaux, and the altercations continue at the final whistle. Christophe Dugarry involved this time. Still the arguments going on about the kick, which wasn't given, but the final whistle amidst all the rumpus on the pitch has gone, and Celtic have a magnificent result in Bordeaux. They've drawn 1-1 with the French side who were in the Champions League last season. There's certainly a high tension finish to the game, Gordon.
Yeah, certainly will. There'll be a few scores to settle in a fortnight's time in Glasgow, but a magnificent result for Celtic to get away and get a draw away from home, and the very fact is they've got the goal as well. They couldn't ask for any more. A lot of heroes. Every Celtic player tonight was a hero.
Saw the reaction there of Elie Bopp on the touchline, hoping he got a penalty right in the final minute of stoppage time. It wasn't to be for Bordeaux. Great result for Celtic, and they've given themselves the perfect opportunity of making it into the third round of the Uefa Cup. Still a lot to do, but they couldn't have hoped for a much better outcome tonight. 1-1 in Bordeaux.